Uniques out there. This is your favorite girl, Akudo. Welcome to another video. We are still talking about no more excuses, and this is the last part of the 5-day series. We talked about no more excuses, physical barriers, spiritual barriers, psychological and emotional barriers, social barriers, and today we are going to talk about cultural barriers. And then some of you will say, culture. How did culture get into this? But you know me, I know how to break it down. I know how to put it down. Now follow me, let's go. When you go to, we're still working with John chapter 5. If you go to 10, verse 10, but maybe I say 10b, it says, they said to the man who was killed, you can't walk on the Sabbath. The law does not allow you to carry that sleeping mat. The Sabbath is a day dedicated for people not to work. It's a day of service to God. It's a day you don't do anything. So it's like a both spiritual thing and also a cultural thing. He said the law does not allow you to carry a sleeping mat on the Sabbath. So even though you are healed and we don't see your healing, even though you've been restored, that's your business. Even though you have been transformed, that's your business. You just broke the law. This is against the law. This is against our culture. In our culture, on Sabbath, we don't work. We don't do nothing. We don't even heal people on Sabbath. So why was this miracle performed on the Sabbath? Why was it performed on a Sabbath? It is against the law. And my sister, my brother, I want to tell you that sometimes our culture, some of our culture, not all of it, some of our cultures tend to be barriers to our progress, barrier to who we are, barrier to our vision, barrier to our dream, barrier to what we are looking for and where we are going. So this man was healed, like I said before, in the spiritual, in the physical, in the psychological barriers. They did not care. All the Jewish leaders were concerned about was their culture, was their law, was their Sabbath rules, was why did you break the law? Why did you do what you're not supposed to do? Why were you healed on a Sabbath day? And some of us in real time now, this is what we are bothering about. This is what is occupying our space. This is what we use as an excuse. Some people will tell you, after all, it's our culture. It's our culture to do this. It's our culture to do that. It's our culture to do the other thing. It's okay. Those are your cultural things. But are they beginning to be barriers to you spiritually? Are they beginning to be barriers to you physically? Are they barriers to you psychologically? Are they barriers to you emotionally? Are they barriers to you socially? These are things you have to consider. Even though they are your culture, even though your culture say you can't do this, you can't do that. Even though your culture say that if you give birth to a child, you should go present them in front of your deity, your God. Is that, as a Christian, is that what you believe in? Even though your God say you can go do this, before you do anything, you should go to the ground and do this and do that. Is that your faith as a Christian? Your culture wants this, your culture wants that. And there are people out there that will be willing to tell you how you have not followed the culture, how you messed up the culture, how you did not obey the law, how it is against the law of their culture. But it is left for you. Are you going to be like the man by the pool and say, I don't know about this culture. I don't know whether this culture should not be healed on Sabbath. I don't know whether I should not carry my mat on Sabbath. But what I know for sure is that the man told me, I don't even know his name. I don't know where he's from. I've not even heard about him. But because remember, I have been by the pool for 38 years. That's where I've been. So I don't know who this guy is. Maybe they call him Jesus or he's going up. The Bible recorded when he was here, he was going around doing good. This man has not heard about it. He doesn't even know who he was. Because if he knew, immediately he saw him, would have said, please heal me. He didn't know, but he knew that if he can be put into that water, he will be healed. And he know that this man speaking to him is not an ordinary man. So if he says, stop complaining, no more excuses, pick up your mat and walk, I'm going to do just that. and I'm going to be healed. So whether he broke the law or whether you people don't like what he did, or whether your culture is not in alliance with your culture, I do not know. What I know is that I am healed. What I know is that I am liberated. What I know is that I have been set free. What I know is that I have been transformed. What I know is a miracle happened. That's all I know. My sister, my brother, what has the culture put on you? What has the culture demanded from you? There used to be a time in our culture, I can't even remember, when they said that when you give birth to twins, they were meant, they said it wasn't something good, and those things were, told to be, the parents were told to go put the twins in the evil forest and things, long, long time ago. But today we know better. So those cultures have been done away with. So many other cultures that Christians we have, it has been done away with. So I want to ask you, my sister, my brother, what cultural barriers are you dealing with at your work? What cultural barrier? Some people's culture are you have to be a certain way. Some people were born into a culture where they are still in their house. It is like a norm. You grow up, we teach you how to shoplift. That is the culture. Some other people's culture, people, it's not really the main big culture. Some families have their own cultures. There are some families in their culture, this is how they do things. They teach their young boys how to steal. They teach their young girls how to stand on the street. The mama is teaching the daughter is teaching the sister, and this is their own little culture. And these cultures have become a barrier to these children's dreams, to these children's goals, to these children's, future. And I'm asking you, when do you say enough of this excuse? That was the culture. That's how I used to. There was this guy that used to say when I was in Nigeria, Scripture Union in Nigeria, and one of one of the pastors, Pastor Matthew, he will always say, "Don't come and tell me anger runs in my family. It is our thing. We always get angry. No, it's not your thing. Don't claim things that don't belong to you. Oh, in my family we always steal. So, in my family, we always do this. That's the culture of my family. That's the culture of where I'm from. We always die early. We die young. Some people, only, they die early. All culture, people, you don't get to the age of 50. I remember there was a lady here that told me, although she's dead now, she told me in her family that they don't go past the age of 50. But she died at 55. So her 50th birthday, she did a big bash because she was like, everybody, my mom died when she was 49, my sister died at 48, my dad died at 49, my other two siblings died at 47, and now I don't think I will live up to 50, but she lived up to 50 and died at 55. So after 50th birthday, I was telling her, I said, so what happened? Since you believe that's the culture or the norm of your family, so what happened? You don't claim negativity and put it on yourself. Remember, there is power in your tongue. What you say is what happens. If you say, oh, we die very young, then you will die very young. If you say, oh, we live long, you will live long. Anything you confess with your mouth, you believe in your heart, it's going to happen the way you said it. There is power in this thing you have, this little thing. It has a lot of power. So what culture are you claiming? What culture has become a barrier to you? What cultural barrier is keeping you from being who God has called you to be, from being who God said you should be on earth, from fulfilling the purpose for why you are put here on earth? My sister, just like they told the man, you should not be healed on Sabbath. We do not carry sleeping mat on Sabbath. This is against the law. This is against our culture. This is against what we do. This is against our norm. This is against what we do. It is high time you rise above it and say, well, in your own case now, you know who healed you. And say, well, he said I should pick up my mat and walk I will do. Walk with faith, I will do. The Bible says that the gates of hell, that the church of God is marching on, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. Whosoever the Son of God set free is free indeed. Have you been set free? Have you been set free from all these barriers? All these cultural barrier, physical barrier, social barrier, spiritual barrier, emotional and psychological barrier. Have you been set free from these 5 punches? Have you been delivered? If you have been set free, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. If you have been redeemed, then stand up and say, he told me to pick up my mat and walk. He said, stop complaining, stop whining, stop the excuses. We are tired of the excuses. No more excuses. Don't just sit down and whine and complain about it. Do something. Do something about it. Change it around, my sister. That brings us to the end of this series. No more excuses. Are you going to stand out there and tell yourself from today on, after watching these 5 series, no more excuses from me? I'm going to stand tall. I'm going to know who I am and whose I am. And I'm going to go out there and find solution to whatever barrier I am dealing with. I'm going to go out there and find a solution so that I can rise above this barrier, so that I can live above this situation, so I can live above this circumstance, so I can live above this issue, above this trouble, above this problem. Whatever that is holding me down, I'm going to live above it. Remember, what the devil used as a stumbling block, God is going to use as a stepping stone unto your victory. But you have to believe it first. You have to believe it in your heart. And once you believe it, you call those things that are not like they are. And that is your faith. My sister, nothing can keep you down. Nothing, dead, circumstances, problems, situations, nothing can keep you down. He didn't keep God down. He didn't keep Jesus down, and it will not keep you down. My sister, no matter what you face, emotionally, are you drained? Emotionally, are you all over the place? Psychologically, you don't know what to think. Psychologically, you don't know what to do. What am I going to do? I don't know. I'm not worth it. I don't deserve it. I am not enough. I am crippled physically, spiritually. I am crippled psychologically and emotionally. Socially, I'm not even accepted. I don't come from the best. I'm not among the class. I don't know what to do. Culturally, they don't accept me. Culturally, I'm always breaking the law. Culturally, I don't want to do what they want me to do because it's not who I am. Culturally, nobody wants me. But I'm here to tell you that you are beautifully and wonderfully and fearfully created by God in His own image. That is why you are unique. Be kind to yourself and to each other and to everybody around you. Because guess what? No barrier. I don't care what He calls Himself. No barrier can put you down. Looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. We can't do it by ourselves. We can only do it through Christ who strengthens us. Remember to give us a thumbs up, share this video, and please subscribe to the channel. I need you to come join me in my family. I love, 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 love you guys. Mwah! Bye-bye.